Hey guys, today I want to share with you my collection of tools, but more importantly how and why I got this. Hence this question I'm raising today for you as well in the how and why. Generally, to be cost effective, I have bought when I really needed something, as in if it was a mission critical item. For example, this 14mm snap-on flare nut spanner to do my brake lines on my car. I bought it used, but it made the difference between me destroying the brake lines and keeping the car off the road for more than needed and getting the job done in a few seconds. Then I have to decide if I need a tool for that specific job that will last me a lifetime, because we all know a cheap tool is false economy if you plan to use it often and the task is very important, like the example with my brake lines, or I just get a budget one because I may use it once or twice over a few years. But I realize things aren't that simple anymore because I have developed a new philosophy for my needs: ecosystems. Let's take these tools in the frame for example. Across all three I have the option of the most used Phillips flathead and torque bits for example. But the iFixit is specifically optimized for high precision and smaller tasks, while the Bosch Set is for my car and the Leatherman is a very compact ecosystem on its own that will do most jobs if nothing else is there. So it's obvious I will never grab my Bosch Set to install a CPU cooler for example. Now that I have tackled my excuses of buying stuff, let me share with you everything that I have gathered so far alongside my thoughts and feedback. It's no surprise that I value quality gear and tools, but at the same time I like to find good deals and decent items. For example, this extra long Allen set from Draper, around 15 bucks I think I paid for it. I got it because I needed specifically the 7mm bit to open the bolts on my brake calipers. Mind you, some sets don't even have a 7mm. This is because the one I had in my Bosch set snapped off. So I bought this no-name one off Amazon just to have a replacement, and I learned my lesson on high torque application, or maybe my mistake of a bad angle, or just Bosch is now made in China, who knows. The Draper did the job flawlessly and I find myself grabbing it most of the time now since they are so comfortable to use, especially for that ball end tip for the extra angle. Speaking of, I really like the Bosch set because it has plenty of sockets including 2 spark plug ones, extensions and even a 1/4-inch screwdriver. Also the sockets have this anti-slip profile to them which works quite well. As for the ratchet, it has a quick release, it's a 60 teeth mechanism and every time I tinker on my car it does the job. Plus it comes very handy on my bike when I have to tighten the cassette or take the pedals off. Then every time I build a computer I always grab this extra long Phillips magnetic screwdriver from Alpenphone, which does CPU coolers for computers and they include it in some of their products. Then if I need to take apart a laptop or my mini PC, then I grab the iFixit set. Also Vera or Wera, how you ever pronounce it, provides rebranded tools for another computer company, like this one from Be Quiet, which sent me this Phillips screwdriver. The Leatherman of course is my go-to item for traveling and has a spot in my survival pouch. If you want to see it in detail, please click here. As for knives, because I consider them tools as well, I have covered them in my other videos, one by one, where the same philosophy applies. My Sebenza and Para 2 are my most EDC ones, while the SOG Tiger Shark is my main machete in the garden, the SAE Zula 2 is my backup survival mini fixed blade, and finally the Hinderer is my prized possession, aka my garage queen. For general tools I have this Dremel kit which came handy when I did some mods on a computer and it's buried down there in the case, while the rest of the tools are generic stuff that I use around the house whenever. Perfect example is this Rolson 300mm adjustable spanner. I got it for like $5 on Amazon a couple years back, so this is the perfect example for a best bang for buck item. I don't own any impact tools yet, but I do have this Bosch cordless drill, also handy around the house. Speaking of ecosystems, I always wanted to keep my drills and bits with a power tool as inside the same case, because every time I grabbed the Bosch drill I always forgot my drill bit set in the other box. And thus I made this quick modification to the case. Basically I just cut these divider walls there and voila, now it fits perfectly. Circling around the compactness idea, on my bike I'm very limited in carrying space, so even the Leatherman Surge is quite a big and heavy item to carry. Thus I found this bike-specific multi-tool from Crank Brothers, which is basically the best I have seen in terms of build quality and functionality. And for the grand finale, if you made it this far, I was always curious about the Vera Tools, especially after handling that screwdriver from the gift box. So may I present to you my Tool Check Plus set, as they call it. It's a glorious piece of kit with plenty of versatility. I will do a separate review on it soon after I test it out properly, but for now I can see the appeal to them. I mean, it's OCD heaven, just look at this. It comes with all the markings on the bits facing the same way. Now I finally have a 1/4 inch ratchet set to match my 3/8. Well, just a 1/2 inch one remains, so we'll see. This being said, I think I covered everything, so thank you so much for watching, and please let me know what are your most used tool sets, I mean ecosystems.